And now to the latest in South America, where U.S. forces have seized a massive oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela, sharply escalating tensions with the Latin American nation. President Trump confirmed the operation, calling it the largest tanker ever seized, and said the U.S. would likely keep the oil, of course.
Probably know we've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually. And other things are happening, so you'll be seeing that later, and you'll be talking about that later with some other people.
The vessel, identified as the Skipper, was targeted for allegedly transporting sanctioned crude from Venezuela to Iran. And Attorney General Pam Bondi released a video showing troops descending from helicopters onto the ship. She said the tanker had long been part of an illicit network that funneled money to groups such as Hezbollah and Iran's Quds Force. The FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Coast Guard, and the Pentagon jointly carried out the operation. Venezuela condemned the seizure as international piracy, with top officials accusing Washington of trying to steal the country's natural resources. Maduro, speaking at a rally, urged Venezuelans to stand ready to defend the nation and mocked U.S. pressure by singing, "Don't worry, be happy."
A los ciudadanos estadounidenses que están contra la guerra, les contesto una canción muy famosa. Don't worry, be happy. La 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 la. Don't worry, be happy. La 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 la. Just peace, not war. Peace and love.
What they want is to steal our oil, to steal it, to steal our gold. They want to steal our gas. They want to steal our water because they don't want to pay. And why don't they pay for it? Because they are thieves. They are accustomed to that.
Now, the incident comes as the U.S. expands its military presence in the Caribbean. U.S. fighter jets are continually flying unusually close to Venezuelan airspace, and President Donald Trump said after the seizure himself, Maduro's days are numbered. Moreover, since September, the U.S. has conducted more than 20 deadly strikes on alleged drug smuggling boats in the region, killing at least 80 people. And now tensions are rising inside Venezuela. Maduro's primary opposition, Maria Corina Machado, who was just awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for championing democratic rights inside the country, appeared in Oslo after 11 months in hiding, saying she will return to Venezuela at the correct moment. Machado went into hiding after criticizing Maduro's policies and even missed the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony.
It's an individual decision, a rational decision. And it's the sum of these individual conscious decisions that bring that collective ethos that creates the force, the strength, and the courage to fight for freedom, to defend it when you got it. That's why I am convinced that peace ultimately is an act of love.
Meanwhile, the U.S. is considering even tougher moves, including an oil blockade, a step former U.S. officials say would actually cripple Venezuela's already fragile economy. Now, Venezuela holds the world's largest proven oil reserves, and despite years of mismanagement, oil remains its vital source of revenue. In fact, most of it goes to China through secretive networks of ghost tankers that turn off tracking systems and transfers cargo at sea to avoid detection. And with a major tanker now seized, a U.S. carrier nearby, and talk of even harsher measures, the region is bracing for what comes next.
I was born into revolution. I inherited power like a crown. What I delivered was isolation. I built a personality cult that touched every home. Millions suffered hunger under my rule, but no one dared to speak. I ruled from palaces. My people queued for rice. I called myself the dear leader. History calls me something else, the dictator. Who am I?